FG cracks down on Nigerian media, withdraws accreditation of 25 journalists covering presidential villa. KOGI elect. OSM says ODODO will take KOGI to the promised land, assures supporters of inclusion in government. I have nothing to do with Yahaya Bello. BRAIMOH. Former US President Donald Trump surrenders to the police. In sports, TOBI AMUSAN dethroned as world champion. This is the MLC TV Global News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluence state of Nigeria. I am Jennifer Odimayo. Thanks for joining us. The security operatives have withdrawn the accreditation of 25 journalists covering the presidential villa. It was gathered that the journalists were shocked when the security operatives stationed at the main gate on Friday, August 18, told them to submit their accreditation cards. The security operatives did not give any reason or explanation for the withdrawal of the tags. The journalists have expressed concern over what might have warranted the action, which has raised significant concerns about press freedom. The affected journalists cut across reporters, cameramen, and photojournalists from broadcast, print, and online media organizations such as Prompt News. KOGI State Governor Yahaya Bello has expressed optimism in the federal government's ability and commitment to improve on the country's road infrastructure. Bello spoke in Lokoja in reaction to the inspection tour of some deplorable federal roads in the state by the new Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi. Our reporter has more.
The elected KOGI Governor Yahaya Bello was the first governor to visit the Minister of Works, David Umahi, in his office in Abuja a day after his inauguration to request urgent intervention in bad roads across the state. He was warmly received by the minister, who described him as a refined, hard-working young governor who wished the best for his people. The minister promised to give adequate attention to maintaining and constructing KOGI roads and across Nigeria as a whole.
I sincerely appreciate you, Your Excellency, for accepting this wonderful responsibility. You are not sitting in the office to take briefing. You are already out on the road to visit, to see the situation of our Nigerian roads with a view to fixing them. I know surely that the resources are scarce, but with your ingenuity and that of Mr. President, we are very confident that our Nigerian roads will be fixed, starting from KOGI State to across the Federation.
He said only concrete road that is cheaper to maintain and will last for decades will be the best option.
To commend you very, very highly, and I want to assure you that both you and I and others, we've keyed into the renewal of Mr. President. Like I said to the public today, Mr. President understood the enormity of the challenges ahead of him in taking this job. But you never see one day complaint. He never complained. He's forward-looking, and we have keyed into that attitude and that method. There is a lot of expectation. We have a lot of expectation from Nigerians, from Mr. President, as far as our routes are concerned. And Mr. President, President Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu has given us a marching order in this ministry, not only to construct routes, but to make our routes to be maintenance-free for 50 years in the minimum, to bring Nigerians back to our roots, to bring safety to our roots, to bring life into our roots. And this is what we're simply going to do. The policy of federal government is that state governors should be able to pay compensation. But you can't ask them to pay compensation if they were not part of the syndication of these projects. So we want to properly involve them. This is very key. In some areas, we'll be asking for joint participation to do the projects. This is also very, very key. And we are bringing in a very lasting solution using concrete to do our roads. And you go to Germany, you go to Saudi Arabia, you go to Dubai, you go to America, to London, you see concrete roads. Some have lasted over 100 years, maintenance free. And I just engaged the contractors. I'm going to run the figures. I was just a governor a few months back, and I did 95% of my roads on concrete, and they are maintenance free. So there is joy in it. I'm judging with the forex problems and the problem of highly dynamic petroleum pricing, which by extension affect bitumen, and even the presence of bitumen in Nigeria. So we have to look inwards and look at our local content. But that means that we're going to be developing more cement factories if we engage. Definitely, we are going to engage.
He immediately organized his entourage, who joined the Kogi State governor on a tour of all federal roads in Kogi. He commended Governor Bello for providing palliative to maintain the road this far.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the partnership. Thank you for the palliative. In fact, you've already started building the road. I can see you've done over 10 kilometers, multiplied by 2, and you're going to help us with this one. Even if you asphalt it, it's still to advantage. When we come, we'll do it.
On the Abuja Airport road to Abaji down to Kotunkarfe Bridge, he stopped to inspect contractors and work done, but frowned at the quality of work delivered by some contractors. He promised to invite such contractors to his office for a review of the contract agreement and mobilize them to the site to deliver quality jobs that will glad the heart of road users.
There is a need for RCC, the contractor, and FEMA, and the engineer to see us tomorrow by 11 o'clock. We need to know the cause of the failure. Of course, it's poor workmanship and poor design, because this failure came from not properly containing the earth against the flood, and so part of the retained earth and the exposed one has been tampered, and so it caused the failure of the return wall. And so we want to know if RCC has been paid their retention, and did they maintain the work before they were paid. You can watch from the airport junction that the median there is very bad, but when you go further along the road, you now see that they did a very beautiful test. But I observed that of Airport Junction going forward was precast. So it's very good for them to uproot it and put it in any of the other roads and do in-situ concrete road median for us. And again, we'll be talking with FEMA. Why is it that the road veggies are not cleared? That's the essence of FEMA. So that from one side of the road, you can see the other side of the road. We should be able to do that, and I don't know why we're not doing it. And you can see considerably that our shoulders, have failed, and that's why we are introducing that even when we must do asphalt on our roads, that we must be able to do the shoulders with concrete.
At the popular Ganaja, which serves as a journey in and exit route for many states, the minister lamented the level of poor condition and construction. He promised that flyover bridge will serve as a lasting solution.
The G2 section of the road, Lokoja, going to Abuja, the job is not acceptable to me at all. Where we are inviting them for a meeting, and the resident engineer will be redeployed. But before that, we give account of the road that is said to be 85% completed, but it's like an old job with a lot of failures. So, and when a contractor fails in one location, it's going to affect him in other locations. This is very important. We are going to be up and doing. We just have to follow Mr. President and follow his footsteps and follow his aspirations. It's not complaining. He knows the enormity of the work and challenges in the country, but God sent him to solve the problem. So we are not going to complain. We are going to challenge the problems, and the Nigerians will be very happy. We've seen the flooding area, somewhere, at Kotunkarfe, yes. And the only solution to it is to do a flyover on it, to fly above the flood level, and that's really well. And it's 1.6 kilometers, which like about 5 flyovers, multiplied by 2. So we're going to be making a proposal, and they will be meeting Mr. President to give us a nod, because we are looking for permanent solutions to our problems.
While the tour lasted till late in the evening of the day, Governor Yahaya Bello appreciated the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, for his steadfastness in ensuring renewed hope is enjoyed by all. And he also narrated how he suffered setbacks on the road after many visits to the former minister that yielded no results.
Mr. President, to deploy the Honorable Minister for Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, a day after swearing in to come and look up into this particular problem, I think we can ask for more from Mr. President. This particular road does not require just palliative. Our government have intervened severally, but it's not working. I thank God that the Honorable Minister for Works is introducing concrete roads. We are believing that we are going to intervene as quickly as possible so that the sufferings of our people can be ameliorated.
He commended the minister, described him as a round peg in a round hole, and said he believed he will not disappoint Nigerians.
This is the road I fly every day. We have no airports in Lokoja or in major cities in Kogi State. We follow the route. This is a road that is connecting the whole of Southeast, South-South, and Southwest to Abuja and the North. More than 85 to 90% of vehicular movement conveying both passengers and goods and services passes through this particular route. And we thank God that we have Engineer Governor Senator Dave Umahi, a round peg in round hole at the helm of affairs in the Ministry of Works today.
Their return to the government house was also a moment to encourage the APC members of every support to see that the party maintain its status that will produce the next governor of the state.
Mr. Governor, thank you very much. Thank you for the interest of your people, which are foremost in your heart. Thank you for beautiful jobs you have done in the state. I've been able to witness a lot of projects which you have done, and that will make our campaign here very easy. Your popularity is not without your works, so they all go together. So thank you very much. And
in conclusion, the minister promised all Nigerian roads will wear a new look by engaging FEMA to clear the roads 100 kilometers away from its verge to reduce armed robbery attacks or any other forms of criminal acts. He also declared his readiness to relocate all persons living in flood-threatening areas to higher ground so that the roads can be enhanced to avert annual flood disasters.
We can't appreciate Mr. President lesser because he has promised renewed hope. You can see that our hope is renewed. By just fixing routes across the country, he has alleviated poverty. And we say, Mr. President, kudos. On behalf of the people of Kogi State and indeed Nigerians that you have come to salvage, we thank you and we appreciate you.
I am Faith Abdul-Ghaffar reporting for MLC TV.
Kano State's government has approved the release of 854 million for the Oren Zarawa Mass Wedding Initiative. The state's Executive Council also approved 700 million as payment of school fees for 7,000 indigenes of the state studying at Bayero University, Kano. According to the governor's tweet, he noted that part of their efforts to cushion the biting effect of the current economic reality, the Kano State Executive Council under his leadership has approved the release of the sum of 700 million naira to settle tuition fees for 7,000 students of Bayero University, Kano. We'll go on a short break now. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.
MLC TV Online is here for your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news. Choose MLC TV. Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. On politics, the election victory of the member representing Ojo Federal Constituency of Lagos State, Seyi Sowunmi, has been nullified by the National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal. Sowunmi won his election on the platform of the Labour Party, was challenged by Lanre Ogunyemi, who was the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC for the election, against the declaration by the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC. A three-man panel of the tribunal sacked Sowunmi from the position and gave victory to Ogunyemi, the APC candidate and former secretary of the Lagos State APC. The members of the panel, Justice Ashu A. Ewa, Chairman Justice Abdullahi A. Ozegia, and Justice M. Sambu, held that the candidate of the Labour Party was not qualified to contest the elections. The candidate of the Action Alliance AA in the November 11 governorship election in Kogi State, Olayinka BRAIMOH, has dismissed as false and a mere fallacy the rumor being sponsored by one of his rivals that his candidacy is being sponsored by the incumbent governor of the state, Yahaya Bello. BRAIMOH, in a statement released from his Lokoja office on Friday, stated that those behind the rumors are merely afraid of their shadows and have found it difficult to understand how he managed to spread the message of his wealth creation plans and start solid minerals, tourism, agriculture and trade agenda across the nooks and crannies of the state while gaining so much acceptability across the board. He opined that another governorship candidate who is behind the wicked rumors had made overtures of political partnership to him and was refused due to the overaching need to take the stat agenda directly to the people rather than be part of any closet arrangement. BRAIMOH reminded those making false claims about his campaign to know that the fact that he is not focusing and complaining about the various invitations, restraints and clogs that Kogi State government and its officials had imposed on his campaigns does not mean he has any behind-the-scene arrangement with the government or the governor. A political group, ODODO Shore Movement (OSM), has described Ahmed Usman Ododo, the Kogi State APC gubernatorial candidate, as the awaiting Moses that will lead the state to the promised land. This assertion was made by the convener of the group, Ibrahim Issa Amoka, when the group paid a solidarity visit to Yakubu Siyaka Adagbenege, aka Fancy, who is the personal assistant PA to Ododo in his office in Lokoja. He described Ododo as a man who is not only tested but trusted and have lived above board in all his professional, administrative and human relationship management. According to Issa Amoka, the group has members drawn from across the 3 senatorial districts of the state who he said are already mobilizing for the election. Earlier, Yakubu Siyaka Adagbenege, aka Fancy, assured the group of the support of his principal, Ododo Ahmed Usman, as they embark on the campaign for his victory. He noted that everyone who worked for the success of the ODODO project would be carried along when he eventually became the governor of the state. On crime, Boko Haram terrorists have released at least 48 abducted women in Borno State after payment of ransom. The women were abducted in their farmlands in Maiwa, the Shuwarin village in Mafa local government area of the state, and taken to an unknown destination. According to counter-insurgency expert and security analyst Zagazola Makama, the women were released after paying 50,000 each as ransom to the terrorists. 8 among the victims were earlier released after paying 20,000 naira each. Suspected gunman has attacked an army patrol van, killed a soldier, and carted away sack bags Ghana must go believed to be loaded with cash in Benin City, the Edo State capital. 3 soldiers were in the military vehicle heading towards Ikpoba Hill Axis when the assailants ambushed them at the traffic light along Akpakpava Road by First Junction in the city. It was gathered that the gunmen drove an unmarked ash-colored Toyota Camry car against the traffic towards the army vehicle as 2 of the 4 occupants alighted and opened fire on the van. Amid the rain of bullets, the 3 soldiers were said to have abandoned the patrol vehicle and loaded Ghana must go bags. The Guardian gathered that one of the fleeing soldiers was, however, unlucky as he fell down and died after he sustained bullet wounds from the gunmen. Sources said the attackers grabbed the bag from the military patrol van, dropped it in their operational Toyota Camry and sped off. When newsmen visited the scene a few minutes after the attack, blood of the victim was visible on a walkway in front of mobile petrol station as shop owners hurriedly closed businesses. On the foreign scene, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, has turned himself in to the authorities in the state of Georgia in response to 13 felony charges handed down by a Fulton County grand jury. Trump arrived at Rice Street Jail in Atlanta, where he is expected to get fingerprinted and have a mug shot taken. He will then be released on a $200,000 bond, which was negotiated earlier in the week. Recall that Trump was indicted in a fourth criminal investigation on August 14th after prosecutors presented evidence showing that the former president and his political allies attempted to reverse the outcome of Georgia's 2020 election. A 23-member grand jury by majority vote approved the criminal charges proposed by Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis' office. The 13 felony counts against Trump include, among others, violating the Georgia RICO Act, filing false documents, and various conspiracy charges. With the new changes out of Fulton County, Trump now faces a total of 91 criminal counts across 4 different cases, several of which carry recommended prison time. He would face a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years if convicted of violating the Georgia RICO Act, which is a serious felony. The indictment also charged 18 of Trump's associates, such as his former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, attorneys Rudy Giuliani, amongst others, and current Georgia State Senator Shaw Steele. And in sports, let's join Jonah Malik for sports updates.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on MLC TV Global News. World champion TOBI has failed to defend her world title after finishing 6th in the final at the ongoing World Athletics Championship in Budapest. Jamaica's Danielle Williams won the title in a season best of 12.43 seconds, while Olympic champion Puerto Rico's Jasmine Camacho Quinn came second in 12.44 seconds, and USA Kendra Harrison came third in 12.46 seconds, while world champion AMUSAN came sixth in 12.62 seconds in her third consecutive final. At the 2022 World Championship in Eugene, USA, AMUSAN came first with a 12.40 seconds African record before setting a new world record of 12.12 seconds to smash the 12.20 world record set by Kendra Harrison in 2016. The world hurdles record holder missed out on the chance of becoming the first woman after USA duo of Gil Divas and Mitchell Perry and Australian Sally Pearson to claim at least 2 gold medals in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the World Championship. And that's all on Sports Updates. I am Jonah Malik reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thank you, Jonah. Joy Dada has the latest in the world of entertainment.
Welcome to our entertainment world. I am Joy Dada. In Africa, Bello, a prominent figure in the music scene, unveiled his latest musical creation, Beauty and Bliss. Building upon the success of his debut album, Beloved, and sophomore project, Table for Two, Bello embarked on a new journey of musical exploration and expression. His third body of work, Beauty and Bliss, showcases his maturity as an artist and his unwavering commitment to pushing his artistry. The EP makes its entrance with the previously released Maria, an enticing fusion of catchy tunes and captivating choruses that has garnered widespread attention on the radio waves. Bello shows a willingness to explore new sonic territories by collaborating with diverse producers. While the EP now available on all digital platforms, we invite you all to press play and embark on a musical journey that captures both the grace and euphoria inherent in Bello's evolving creativity. And the foreign scene in a significant legal development, R. Kelly and Universal Music Group have been ordered to pay over $500,000 in music royalties to Brooklyn federal prosecutors. This payment is intended to contribute towards restitution for its victims and cover unpaid criminal fines. U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly signed the order directing UMG, the imprisoned multi-platinum singer's longtime music publisher, to make the payment. Previously, Judge Donnelly has ordered R. Kelly to pay nearly $28,000 from his prison inmate account to address outstanding fines. The embattled R&B singer is currently serving a 30-year prison sentence for his 2021 convictions on charges of racketeering and sex trafficking in New York. As part of his sentencing in 2022, R. Kelly, along with UMG and Sony Music Entertainment, was collectively handed a $500,000 bill to be paid to the victim of sexual abuse. The court believed that both music giants were in possession of properties belonging to R. Kelly, equivalent to the over $500,000 in restitution fees and criminal fines that he still owes. However, the recent ruling clarifies that Sony Music will no longer be responsible for making payments toward these particular bills. Instead, R. Kelly royalties with Universal will be used to cover these financial obligations. Thanks for joining me. I am Joy Dada, reporting for MLC TV.
Thank you, Joy. To our audience, we thank you and we appreciate your support by watching and sharing. For more subscriptions, our YouTube channel remains Malachi TV. Like and follow our Facebook pages MLC TV, MLC TV2, MLC TV Yoruba and Igbira Vabe MLC TV, Instagram MLC TV 2021, Twitter Malachi TV, Threads Malachi TV, and TikTok Malachite_TV. For your event coverage, appearance on any of our programs, contributions, comments, advert placement, or sponsorship, please call or send SMS to any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join Malachi TV on weekends to watch our various programs. Saturday 7 p.m. Political Arena, Sunday 6 p.m. Women's World, and Monday 9 a.m. The Opinion. It is Malachi TV, reaching everywhere and informing everyone. Please be your brother's keeper to build a happier and better society together. I am Jennifer Odimayo. Do have a lovely week. Thank you.